Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and I'm back. And what a perfect time for me back. Riot decided to release their 2024 rotation today. So if you're living under a rock and didn't know the news, go up to Play Runeterra news and you get to see here the rotation full list. Now, the way that Riot did this is kind of odd. So what they put here is every card that's still going to be in standard. So this includes cards that were already in standard and also cards that got rotated back. So instead, for today's video, as we react to this, we're going to use the lore report list of cards that got rotated. So props here to Marshall, who's a great content creator and is the one that runs the lore report. So you can find this in lore report, and then you go to rotation here and you click on 2024 and you'll pull up the 2024 rotation list. And that's kind of what we're going to do right here, because at least this way we get the images and we actually get to see what gets rotated out and what gets rotated back in. But again, the Play Runeterra has kind of like all the cards that have been standard, which again is kind of a little bit harder to follow. So let's go ahead and react to the rotation. So if you're not familiar, Legends of Runeterra has two formats, standard and eternal. In eternal, everything goes. You can play every single card in the game. In standard, it's a restricted number of cards that you can play, and those are the cards that are really in this list, right? So last year was the very first rotation, and here we got our second one. Unfortunately, I feel like if we don't have any more tournaments going, right, because we don't have any more competitive tournaments anymore, then it kind of feels like rotation is kind of like meaningless, to be honest, because there's no reason to play standard, right? If you're still playing Runeterra, you probably want to play for fun, and if you're playing for fun, you're probably going to be playing Eternal for the most part, right? But still, some people would like to play standard, some people would like to play Eternal, so at least Riot is kind of giving those people who like standard a little bit more variety to kind of freshen up the meta and see different decks kind of pop out and do well. So first, let's start with the champions, because obviously with Legends of Runeterra, the most important thing of any decks is what champions you kind of build with it. And the camera is a little bit in a different spot today because I was trying to make it so that I don't block the little nice diagram here that Runeterra report put for us. So first, let's start with Bando City. And we have 4 champions here getting rotated out. Fizz, Yuumi, Veigar, Heimerdinger. And 1 champion that got to Eternal and now is going back to Standard, which is Lulu. And honestly, this is kind of like a big deal. Like the champions here, some of these champions were very powerful, right? Like Fizz was super problematic even last year. Remember Fizz Samira? Like that was really problematic, and a lot of that was because of Fizz. Granted, Samira was also pretty bad, but Fizz, you know, the fact that Fizz cannot be targeted by spells, or, I mean, obviously he can be targeted, but it's easy to negate, made some of these elusive things really powerful. So I think I'm glad to see this get out of standard. Yuumi as well could create some very crazy situations, especially with elusives. Veigar, Darkness wasn't really doing a lot, so we haven't really seen any Veigar decks, so this is more like, whatever, you know, not really powerful. Heimerdinger kind of got nerfed in a lot of different places, so I still don't think this really matters. But again, it makes it so that we don't have these spell lingers in standard anymore. With Lulu coming back, though, it does give us access to some more aggressive stuff that we were only seeing in Eternal. So think of like Lulu Jinx, for example, can now be playing standard, assuming that Jinx didn't get rotated out. I haven't gotten to PNC yet. But if Jinx still in standard, then you have something like Lulu Jinx there, right? That you can play and kind of have this super aggressive strategy that opponents are going to have to deal with. So, okay, I mean, Bando City kind of loses some of the elusive shenanigans, loses some of like Darkness, and you know, turrets will get some aggression back with Lulu. Then we go to Bilgewater, and of course we see Fitz here again. But then we also get Nami and Pyke rotating out and Gangplank rotating in. So Pyke rotating out means that Lurk is gone from standard. Wow. Okay, I mean, I feel like Lurk was such a staple of like Runeterra, right? Like a lot of people play Lurk. Oh, wow. So they took away Lurk. All right, so Pyke is gone. Nami is weird because they just recently changed Nami, right? They recently changed Nami and they're really rotating her out. I feel like you probably wanted to give a little bit more time for Nami to really shape up. But I think again, it feels like they're taking a lot of these cards. We saw Jaime getting rotated out. They're taking a lot of these champions that kind of rely on spells out of the standard format, which is weird. Gameplay coming back in can create some very funny scenarios for Bilgewater. It gives Bilgewater kind of like a different strategy where you can kind of go back to this Gangplank, damaging the opponent nexus and kind of having this big bomb that comes down. Probably gonna see it more played in like some aggressive decks than anything else, right? Now we're going only through the champions, so we don't even know what other cards, like support cards, get rotated out and in, which obviously is gonna shape the identity of this region as we get through that. From Demacia, we lose Lucian, Quinn, Jarvan, and we gain Fiora back. So gaining Fiora back, obviously Fiora got changed last year, right? So now she's a 4/4/4. I still don't think she's gonna be crazy, but I guess in standard, when you have some less powerful removal, she could potentially kind of be really punishing against especially aggressive decks, right? That's what Fiora can do. The other three champions that got rotated out, I feel like losing Jarvan is going to be huge because now you're not going to have Jarvan Shen. And Jarvan was also very splashable in a lot of the Demacia decks, so that feels really bad to lose Jarvan. Quinn was really only playing Scouts ever since the interaction with Gwen and Scouts got changed. So losing Quinn is more like hurting Scouts more than anything else. We saw that Misfortune didn't get rotated out, so Misfortune is still in the game, but Quinn gets rotated out. So they just kind of wanted to lower the power of Scouts in general. Lucian is whatever. Lucian wasn't really seeing a lot of play. So I'm not surprised that he got rotated out because he wasn't really working even in this weaker standard format that we saw with last year. So interesting choices here. We still have stuff like Galio in the game though for Demacia, which is probably going to be the I mean, it already was the go-to Demacia deck. So that's probably going to still continue being the case here. We have Freljord. Are you serious? Are you? Come on, Riot. Are you freaking serious? They rotated Udyr out. We finally get the Berserker card to make Udyr actually playable, and it only lasted one patch before they rotate Udyr out. Are you kidding me, Riot? Ah. Yup. Udyr gets rotated out, apparently. Wait, I want to see what their reasoning was for Udyr. I thought so they did release like an article kind of talking about why they rotated out certain champions. But they don't even mention Udyr in this article. Are you serious? They don't even mention Udyr in this article of why they rotated. Like, they had an article where they explain like some things that got rotated out, like here, for example, like linear champions. That's why they rotated out like Pike, Rek'Sai, like Lurk and stuff. But they couldn't even give me a reason why you're taking out Udyr. Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. Sejuani gets kicked out. So Gangplank gets kicked out, and so Gangplank comes back in, but Sejuani goes back out. So you still cannot do the plunder stuff in standard. Tryndamere gets rotated out, which is fine. Tryndamere wasn't really doing much. Braum comes back in, so more like defensive strategy. I don't think the current Freljord strategists really care about playing Braum as much. Like, Braum is still vulnerable to like Soul Harvest, right? I guess we don't know. Maybe Soul Harvest got rotated out. I guess we'll see. But I don't know what Braum is doing yet until we see the rest of the cards. But I'm glad to see Braum back. I think Braum has always been like a fan favorite for a lot of people. From Ionia, we lose Ari, we lose Set, and we lose Karma. Wow. Again, losing Ari is kind of similar to what we're talking about. She wasn't seeing a lot of play. So kind of like too weak, even in standard. So I think it's fine. We don't need her there. Set means that we don't have Gwen and Set anymore, or other Set strategies. So that is a little bit interesting. I don't know that I agree with taking Set out. I feel like Set was in a healthy spot. Wasn't too strong, wasn't too weak. But maybe there's something else that they're bringing back that they want to be able to take Set out of the equation, right? But then Karma, this is what everybody wanted. This is what everybody wanted last year, for Karma to be gone. We had to deal a whole year with both Karma and Seraphine standard. So now with Karma being out of the equation, you don't have this late game control deck. We are losing too many champions, in my opinion, that rely on spells, right? Nami, Karma, right? Like, what was the other one? I just said another one earlier, right? Like, Heimerdinger, right? Heimerdinger, Nami, Karma. So we're losing a lot of these champions that rely on spells, which kind of seems a little bit weird to me. We talked about Lulu already, but then Yasuo gets to come back in, and I like it. I mean, Yasuo could be interesting. I'm assuming that if Yasuo's coming back, his landmark is also coming back, so you could potentially have this stun strategy be useful again. I'm assuming that Katarina is not coming back, right? So, because if you bring back Katarina, that things are probably gonna be really hard. Yeah, Katarina is not on the list of standard playable cards. So it's a Yasuo without Katarina, which definitely weaker than what you can do in Eternal with Yasuo Cap, but could still see some room to be good just because of the nature of Yasuo, and him sticking down could be really problematic. And this is the Naxos card, so we could just give one to see the Katarina. But as we said, Katarina doesn't come back. Vladimir comes back, and I think Vladimir is really nice, right? Now you can play him with Braum in standard, or you can just play like Vladimir Targan for like some aggressive shenanigans, right? So that should still be really good. No matter what, I think this card is really nice to come back into standard. On the other side, I feel like we lose three very powerful Naxos champions, Riven, LeBlanc, and Darius. Like, Darius was so good for Ogun strategies, as you guys all know from Rico Reds. LeBlanc was really good for, like, Ash LeBlanc, and just in general, being, like, a very splashable Naxos card. And then Riven was also really nice for that same reason. Like, you could splash this into a lot of different strategies. I mean, you got rid of Fist already. Why would you get rid of Riven as well? Like, you don't have Riven Fist anymore. I don't know. I guess you still have Riven Morgana, but Riven Morgana hasn't been played since like Morgana was first released. I think it's really weird to get rid of Riven. I feel like she was a really solid champion for what Naxos wanted to do. So we get Vladimir back, but I feel like we lose three very powerful cards that allow like this Naxos mid-range to really work. So now I feel very scared of what Naxos really has left, right? For PNC, we also lose Seraphine. Wow. Seraphine, Karma, Heimerdinger, Nami all rotate out. Can somebody check on Akedo for me? Like, oh my goodness, they literally just rotated out all his champions. All Spellslingers are just out of the game. Oh my goodness, Real Prism Sword as well. Like, Real Prism Sword, Majin Bay, Akedo, they're all very sad if they're watching this Seraphine Karma got rotated out. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, so Seraphine gets out. Vi comes in. So Vi kind of enables more like a mid-range strategy for PNC, which is fine. She's just a nice status unit, so I don't think she's going to be crazy, but I think she's going to be decent in such strategies. Seraphine, though? Oh my goodness. That changes a lot. Like, you don't have to worry about Seraphine shenanigans anymore. Wow. We talked about Heimer already, but like, oh man, I actually don't know that I like this. I feel like you still want to have some level of like spell slingers in the game, right? Like, I was completely fine rotating one or the other. I feel rotating both Seraphine and Karma kind of feels bad. I guess is why just rotating all spells out of the game? I guess we'll see when we actually go through the full list. And then Shadow Owls. Why does Shadow Owls have so many champions on their screen compared to the other regions? So Shadow Owls loses Callista, which is fine. She wasn't doing a lot. Loses Nocturne, which they should have lost Nocturne last year because they have no Nightfall package anymore. Lose Senna. So again, kind of going along with the Darkness. Senna had a lot of cool decks though that you could do even without Darkness. And they get Thresh and Hecarim back. Okay, so Hecarim coming back explains why they rotated Set out. They didn't want to have like Hecarim Set dominate standard. So now you can play, I guess, Gwen Hecarim instead of Gwen Set. So I guess did you literally just replace Set for Hecarim on that Shadow Owls Ionia deck and just call it a day? Huh. I guess it could also enable some other strategies. I think Hecarim is always been one of my favorite champions. Actually, the very first deck I played in beta of Legends of Runeterra was Hecarim Set. So I was playing that ephemeral Hecarim Set, and Hecarim was the first deck I took to Masters, right? So I'm kind of happy to see him back. I can see some interesting strategies coming out with Hecarim in Standard, because again, it's kind of like a weaker format. And then you have Trash coming back, which again can also create some very fun situations with kind of giving Shadows more control styles too. So I think both choices are good to come in. Same thing with the choices coming out here. I think everything kind of makes sense. In Shurima, we lose Rek'Sai, which we expected since we lost Pike. So Rek'Sai and Pike are both gone. Lurk is out of the equation. We lose Action, which we already knew about. And we also lose Renekton, which I don't like. We lost Seraph last year, and now we lose Renekton. So Sundis only has Nasus and Nasir? So Sundis is literally unplayable. Like, it was almost unplayable after Seraph got rotated out, but then we kind of found ways to make Renekton and Nasir work, but there's no way you're going to make a Seer Nasus work the same way that you could make a Seer Renekton work. So yeah, Sundus is just out of the equation. I think this is a really weird rotation here for Renekton. Saber coming back is nice. Again, kind of add some mid-range. With Action out of the picture, I think it makes sense to bring Saber back. It can make it so that Saber is not as powerful as she used to be when you have both Action and Saber on the field at once. And with Jarvan getting rotated, some of the other Demacia champions, maybe you can actually play like Demacia Shurima and just flash Saber there in that spot. So I think Saber is a good one to come back. And then on Targan, we lose Diana, which makes sense because we lost Nocturne. And again, we kind of didn't have any Nightfall cards in Standard anymore. We talked about Jumi. We lose Pantheon, which Pantheon hasn't seen a lot of play. I guess his playstyle is a little bit toxic, right? So I think it's fine that we lose Pantheon. And then we also lose Kale. Kale wasn't doing a lot either, but I feel like she still had a place in the meta with some weird off decks, right? Off meta decks. So I'm kind of sad to see Kale go out, right? Especially because you also have Morgana in the game now. But it's fine. In return, we get Felix and Taric. So I guess Target cannot really complain. Like, all of these champions were kind of fringe. I feel like Felix and Taric are going to hit the meta right away. Like, Felix is really strong as a champion by itself. And so is Taric. So, I mean, if you have Taric and Aphelios, I don't mind trading all these champions. I think Target is winning. As I look at all the champions we talked about so far, I feel like Target kind of got the best end of the deal so far. These two cards are amazing. Wow, that's so good. That is so good. I feel this is going to terrorize some Standard meta in the future, to be honest. Like, this card is just such a good stabilizer. So, wow. And then finally we get the Runeterra champions, and we get all the Runeterra champions. Well, not all of them. We get a bunch of Runeterra champions rotating out. We got all the Dark King rotating out. So Barrows, Kane, and Aatrox, which is kind of crazy to me. So I guess if you rotate one, you have to rotate the rest, because if you rotate one of these two, you have to rotate. I mean, you could have kept Barrows or Kane. You didn't, because you could still keep the Cultist package. So this tells me that Rad is probably rotating all the Cultist cards out of the game and putting them in Eternal. This is really weird to me. Rise, sayonara. I don't mind seeing Rise be gone. Same thing with Bar. I think this two kind of created some kind of toxic gameplay, so I think that's fine. And that's really it. I mean, how do I feel? I definitely think that Targan got the winning line here with Aphelios and Taric coming back. I also don't mind Shadow Owls with Hecarim and Trash, because both of these champions are stronger than any of the champions here. But then a lot of other, like, I'm telling you, like, Spellslingers got slaughtered with Karma and Seraphine both coming out. And I think Naxos also got slaughtered. Like, all three of these champions were really good for Naxos. I'm very sad about Udyr, but, I mean, I guess it is what it is. Wow. Okay, you know what? Let's look at the card, right? Because the champions are one thing, but the cards really define everything else that's here, right? So the following cards will be rotated out. So right now, these are the cards that are currently in Standard that are gonna get sent to Eternal, right? We looked at the champions here from Runeterra champions, and then we look at the Bandle City cards. Telstones is gone. Shark Trainer, Trixie Tentacle. I mean, I guess Seraphine got rotated, so it doesn't matter. But this card was toxic. I'm glad it's gone. Trinket Trade is gone. Treasure Trash. Obviously, the Darkness package all goes bye-bye, right? So the Darkness package all goes bye-bye because Senna and Vega are both out. So it makes sense that all this gets out. Yodeling Arms. Wow, okay, so even though we have Lulu back, without Yodeling Arms in standard, Lulu might not be as powerful. Like Lulu Jinx or something like that, right? Actually, yeah, we know Jinx didn't get rotated out, right? So Yodeling Arms is kind of like a nerf to Lulu Jinx, right? Quicken is out, Group Shot is out. Wow, so now the only ping is Pytos, right? That's still around. Yoro Portal is out, Fei is whatever. Bird, oh man, Bird is such a nice splashable card. That's rough. Cultist is out. We talked about it, right? With Kane Barriers and H-Shots all rotating, very likely that all your Cultist cards are also going to get rotated out, right? Mecha Pulverizer, the Paper Tree. Nobody played this card. Do you guys even know about this card at all? Sudden Surge, Drop the Bomb. Okay, so I mean, Drop the Bomb is also a big deal, right? Especially if you're trying to play like Nora. Like Nora control kind of like Drop the Bomb. So losing that kind of sucks. Losing Bird kind of sucks. But aside from that, I mean, a lot of these cards, I mean, Trinket Tray was huge. Group Shot was huge. I mean, there's not a lot of things that Bando City loses, in my opinion. Like, they can still do... They still have, like, Mayor. They still have Grandfather Faye, right? So they can still spam the board. They still have Tristana, Bando Gunners, right? They still do the strategy where they just get to spam your board with a bunch of units and it still be in a decent spot. So I think this is completely fine for Bando City. I think they're still in a decent spot. Like, even the champions that get rotated aren't that impactful. And in fact, them getting Lulu back probably makes a lot of this spam strategies even better for them. In the Bilgewater side, Shell Shocker is kind of huge. He was seen in a lot of decks, to be honest, right? Beast Below, fine. Oh, wait. Wait, what? Isn't this a deep buff? Because since this got rotated out, you can play deep and not randomly generate this card anymore. And Nautilus and Maokai are still in standard, right? Huh, okay. Okay. Yellbraid, Playful Trickster, Riptide. There's the Cultist, Unending Wave. Oh, you know what? I forgot that they also probably going to rotate all the other cards that also came with Kane. Like all the Cultist spells as well, right? Iron Nagakaboros got rotated out. But Ilawi was still in the game, right? Wait. Yeah, Ilawi's still here. But Iron Nagakaboros goes bye-bye. Oh man, that's interesting. So even if Ilawi stays in standard, without Iron Nagakaboros, Ilawi's going to be so much weaker. So why even leave her in standard? Wow. That's a big deal. Wow. That's a huge tool for Bilgewater to lose. Swindle is out. Tailstone. Okay, so this is the second Tailstone we see. So they're probably going to remove every Tailstone, right? Buru Leader. Yeah, Everflow. So the Shelly is finally out. And here's all our lure cards. Hammers now, Swarm. Yeah. Monkey Business is out. Boomship is out. Burblefish is out. So again, spell slingers, you're done. Spells, Riot does not want you to slam spells anymore. Pandemonium, Pool Shark is a big deal to lose. Coral Creature was actually a super underrated 2-drop, and sad to see this being gone. Siren is gone, even though Misfortune is still around. Double Trouble is gone. Okay, so Bilgewater, I feel, doesn't lose anything crazy, except for Nagakaboros. Losing Nagakaboros is a huge deal. Of course, they lose a whole archetype because they lose Lurk as well. And I guess they lose like the whole Nami package. But like, this card was so good at any Bilgewater deck. Losing this is actually going to be super important. Huh. Demacia, Towering Shoehorn for the Tholen. Okay, so sure. I mean, doesn't matter. Warden, Undying Spirit. I forgot that this card was still in standard. I mean, let's pursue. So they lose one Rally, Detain, Remembrance. Because Lucian gets rotated, so does Senna. Make Seeker Jr. got rotated out. Tempting. Champion Strength. Ooh. That's a big loss. That's a big loss for the Demacia. Ah. Is Scout's dead? Without Champion Strength and without Queen? How do Scouts keep up with any other mid-range deck? Wow, that's huge. Defector goes as well. Fish fight goes bye-bye. Petricide, Royal Decree, Tailstones. Browin! Browin is rotated out? Wow! 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 This is a staple in almost every Demacia deck. Well, I mean, at least we don't have to deal with Browin being annoying when we are playing against the Demacia deck, but that's huge. Browin Protege, fine. Honor Lord, Cataclysm is a big deal as well. Actually, I'm glad they took Cataclysm out, by the way, because I feel like it would have given Fiora a lot of value, right? And also Jarvan is gone, so that makes sense. Squire and King Jarvan is also gone because his son is gone. Holy crap! Champion Strength and Browin both out. This is probably the biggest impact change to a standard. One of, not the biggest, one of the biggest impact change. Obviously, Seraphine and Karma probably up there in terms of impact, right? But this is one of the biggest changes. Wow, wow, wow. Screwed you, Riot. Screw you. I can't believe this. I actually can't believe you rotated Udyr when we finally got that Berserker 4 drop that made Udyr playable. Screw you. Anyways, Shatter, Unforgiving Call, Harbinger of Trolls is gone, so like no trolls anywhere. Hunting Board, Crackling Ice, Ferocity. Honestly, this card being gone, this was playable on Yat's own, right? So that's actually kind of a big deal in a way. Shaman, Scryer gets rotated out, sorry, at the same time that Vladimir comes back in, right? So that's kind of like a big loss. Tell Speaker is a huge loss. So the Troll package just gets rotated out. Frozen Troll and Inquisitor as well, together with the Harbinger, right? So why is Lysandra still in the game? Why is Lysandra still in standard? If you're gonna rotate Frozen Troll, Inquisitor, and the Harbinger Trolls, then is Lysandra really just here for what? You're never gonna get that you're never gonna get Trolls in the field anymore. And you even rotate her spell. You even rotate Tomb, but you don't rotate Lysandra out. Ah. Three Sisters, right? Am I going crazy? Lysandra's still in the standard, right? Yeah, Lysandra's still in standard, so I don't understand. Three Sisters goes bye-bye. That's actually a huge loss. Very Nice is huge as well. Yeah, whatever. Battle Fury was playable. War Mother's Call gets rotated out. Feel the Rush. Is Feel the Rush getting... No, Feel the Rush is also still rotated out. So Freljord loses War Mother's Call and Feel the Rush. They lost Feel the Rush last year. They lose War Mother's Call this year. Why do I want to ramp? Why do I want to ramp in Freljord now? Isn't half of Freljord ramping? If I'm losing my very powerful spells that I'm ramping up to, what's the point? What is the point? Oh my goodness. Starlight Seer and Halfguard. So Ash LeBlanc loses LeBlanc and loses Halfguard. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on here. Ionia, Cloud Drinker, Mina, Inside Shaman Win. Shaman Win? Shaman Win gets... I guess technically it's not Shaman Win that gets rotated. It's the one drop, right? The Disciple. The Disciple gets rotated, right? Oh no, wait. The Disciple is still here. Okay, so this is just a mistake from Runeterra report, right? So this is the token, right? Disciple still in stand. Okay. Cultist goes bye-bye. Flame. Oh, the Flame goes bye-bye. 9 lives. Syncopation. Concussive Palm is gone. Concussive Palm is gone. Wow. That's a huge defensive tool that Ione just lost. Also, Jasper got rotated back in, but Palm got rotated out. Make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Sonic Wave, Duo goes bye-bye, so it makes this Gwen Hecarim deck a little bit weaker, right? Silent Shadows here. Okay, so Iona didn't get hit too bad, to be honest, until you realize that Karma and Set are gone. And Concussive Palm being gone is also huge. Singular Will is actually also huge. It was starting to see play in some Ionia decks. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about this yet. I need to see the cards that are getting rotated back in to really make my feel. So let's continue going down the list. Reckoner goes bye-bye. Willing Death. Okay, Brothers Bond, Trifarian. Trifarian was a decent card. Litzer Wrath. Furious Will there. Ooh, they rotated. This is the first Weapon Master we see rotated, right? Yeah, all the cultists are gone. Crimson Pigeon is gone, so Vladimir gets rotated in, Pigeon gets rotated out, so Noxus, Vladimir Steel kind of makes little sense. So this is what I don't understand. Like, if you're trying to rotate Vladimir back in to give Noxus this Vladimir strategy, why would you rotate Pigeon out when you needed that to make Vladimir level up quicker? Wow. Whoa! 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 Disintegrate and Broadman are both gone. This kills Noxus. Yeah, I think Raya doesn't want Noxus to be a region anymore. Raven, LeBlanc, Darius, Disintegrate, Broadman, and Pigeon. So you hit their aggro, you hit the control, you hit their mid-range, you hit their overwhelm. What's next? What's next, Raya? Tailstones, whatever, Reckoner, Tactician, you hit the rally, cool. The Reforged Blade Map. Okay, so you lose Windweaver as well. What is going on? Ballista goes away too. Like, what is going on? Like, what does Noxus do now? Like, what is Noxus point in his stand there anymore? I'm serious. Like, what the heck? Okay, all right. PNC. Seraphine, we talked about it. Heads Witerator, huge hit. Sun Divac, didn't see a lot of play. Discord, Cloud, Perfection goes bye-bye. I mean, with Seraphine gone, I feel like that's fair. Sonic Urchin is a huge... Oh my goodness. What is the purpose of bringing Lulu back to standard? If you know their best pairing is Lulu Jinx for discard aggro, but then you take away the discard tools like Sonic Urchin. You take away the Bando City tools like the one drop, right? What's it called? You take away the bird, right? So like right off the bat, you bring Lulu back to standard, but you're already preemptively nerfing a potential Lulu Jinx combination by taking away Sonic Urchin and all the other stuff. So Percival, Savvy, Gotcha. Aftershock is gone, apparently. Aftershock is gone. And if I'm correct, because we've seen it in every other region, the Tailstone is also gone. So you lose Aftershock and you lose the Tailstone. So you literally have no way to pop landmarks anymore, except in PNC, unless you play the Explorers. So you're forced to play the Explorers. So Gearhead, Time Winder, Production Search. Okay, so the Heimerdinger package is going to be gone. Archivist, Sun Fumes. Most Wanted kind of messes up Mill, right? Like Maokai PNC Mill. Handler makes sense. Anomaly's gone. Anchor is gone. Riff, High Note, right? Because Seraphine is gone, I guess. Acorn is gone too. Wow. Okay, so they just took Seraphine and all her package along with her. I think PNC got hit really bad. I think honestly losing Aftershock, losing Seraphine and Heimer, losing Heads Blitzerator, like there's so many things here that I think were actually impactful. Caustic Rift, like that's so huge. Time Winder at the same time that you also lose Caustic Rift, right? So now your only one that does damage to multiple units is that that other one that came out with Janna and Mila, right? The one that deals one to one thing and deals one to another. That is slow speed spell, but like man, like PNC got butchered. So let's see what Shadow Owls has. Scribe, Rekindler finally gets rotated. Warrior gets rotated. Oh my goodness. You bring Hecarim in, and you take Warrior out, which is one of the best ways to level up Hecarim. Okay. Alright. Sure. Devastation's out. Telston is out. Catalog. Sentinel, Desenata. Again, this is all the Sen and Vega package. Mass Mother is out. Spirit Leash is out, which is a huge loss for Shadow Owls. Wings in the Wave is even bigger, so now Mordekaiser loses a lot of tools. Crumble passes you an urn. Undying. Oh, okay. I mean, Shadow Owls didn't get hit as much, but certain archetypes. I mean, actually, you know what? Rekindler just completely being gone also messes up Mordekaiser. Like, oh my goodness. What's the purpose of playing Mordekaiser now? You lose Rekindler, right? Like, you're losing Rekindler, you're losing Spirit Leash, you're losing the Wings and the Wave. What is going on? I honestly, again, we need to wait to see what gets rotated back in. Because right now, Standard just seems like it's a bunch of stuff that doesn't do anything. Action, yeah, Lurk. Bakai is gone, of course, because of the cultists, but that's still a huge loss to a lot of Shurima decks. Swinging Glaive is gone, but together with Action, so that's fine. Shepherd, wow. Yeah, Ascendus Arise, whatever. Vagabond because of the action. Grappling Hook, Lurk cards. Okay, so Shurima is not as bad. Okay, Voice of the Risen is a huge deal, right? Because now Echo is a lot weaker, right? You still have Echo in Standard. So Echo is still in Standard, but you took away Voice of the Risen. So Echo, so it's not going to be... Echo is going to be really, really weak. Echo is going to be unplayable, actually. Wait a second. Why didn't you rotate Echo out? If you're going to rotate Voice of the Risen, you might as well rotate Echo out. They're doing the same thing they did before. They're doing the same mistake they did last year when they rotated all of the Nightfall cards and it still left Diana and Nocturne in the Standard. And then, did you ever see Diana get played at all last year? Did you ever see her get played? Echo's gone. All right. I would never play Echo with my Voice of the Risen. Maybe that's a hot take, but like, what's the reason? Why would you ever play Echo now? Yeah, that's huge. Everything else in Shurima wasn't that big of a deal. So we knew Achan was leaving, right? So it's, but like, really? So what do we have in Shurima? A Seer, Nasus, right? We can't even play Sundisk, really, to be honest. I guess we have Kaisa, right? Nidalee? Ah, that's so rough. Targan. Shepherd is a huge loss, actually. Shepherd is a huge loss. Purifying Flames, Winged Messenger, so kind of getting rid of all these elusive shenanigans. I quit this game. They took away my Udyr. And they took away my Solani. What am I gonna do, guys? What am I gonna do with a Solani? How can I give you guys the weekly Solani games if she's no longer in Standard? Oh. I'm not gonna cope though. I think this is a good change. I think Solani was a little bit oppressive in certain decks. I think she did need to get rotated out potentially, but like doesn't hurt any less. I'm sad. Spence, Esmus, because Bar is gone. Winding Light, Tellstones. This is actually a huge loss, by the way. Targon like having these Tellstones for Hush and stuff. This is a lot. Like, this is huge. Losing these Tellstones is huge. Iula is gone. Okay, so the Faded package is pretty much gone because Penguin is gone. You bring Aphelios in. You take Lunari Dustbringer out. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You bring Aphelios back to standard, but you take Dustbringer out. What's the point? What is the point? Guardian, Shade Stalker, bigger, efficient, okay, Cineflay, Acid Protection, Cygnus. Okay, so this rotating out has me very confused. Let's see if the things rotating in make this better. So these are the cards in Eternal right now that are going to be coming back into standard. I wonder if Marshall updated this. Okay, so Chemist is back, Purple Berry Shake, Newbie. So we have the Bando City cards coming in first, right? Smith and Lulu are pretty nice. Flame Spitter, Projectile, Entrapment, Hothead, Spirit Portal. Okay, so Spirit Portal coming back into standard still gives some power to this Lulu Jins, right? That's a really good change. Telescope coming back in is also really good for like Mayor and the Grandfather Faye that are still in the game. Wizard is whatever. Stress Defense is nice. We get Risu back into the game. That's not bad. Mechacaster is not bad, to be honest, as a hit for like Mayor. So Bando City doesn't really get a lot of crazy things back, right? Lulu is nice. Telescope and Spirit Portal is nice. The Yorosmith could potentially be nice, but we don't have Poppy, right? We only got Lulu, not Poppy. So it's still a little bit awkward to use this. Okay, whatever. Bilgewater. Wait, that's it? Bilgewater only gets Gangplank, QB Warren, Narwhal, Monkey Idol, Double Up, and Dreadway back? That's it. That's all you're giving Bilgewater. How many cards did we rotate from Bilgewater again? How many cards did we rotate from Bilgewater? Like 6, 12, 18, 24, 27... 32 cards rotate out of Bilgewater, and we only get 6 back. Not enough to really make any archetype playable. Monkey Idol comes back, I guess, to go with Gangplank and Dragway. Double Up is okay. Double Up is kind of nice, to be honest. It's like a pseudo Decimate. These cards make no sense to come back into this. Okay. Fiora? Okay, so let's see Demacia. Alright, so Demacia gets a lot more cards back. Dragon Shout for dragons. It's not bad, actually. Wait. Shyvana is still in standard. So is Elder Dragon. So, like, with Dragon Shout, that gives him some draw. Lauren Protege is not bad, especially because Browin is out now. So this could probably be really good. Blade Keeper with Fiora is not bad. The Stack, Chevalier. Golden Aegis. Wait, Golden Aegis is back. They rotated Relentless Pursuit, brought back Golden Aegis at the same time that they brought back Tarek. So Tarek Golden Aegis alone is going to make this archetype really playable, to be honest. Lancer. Citra is not bad. This doesn't matter. This is not going to see play either. It's a nice 9 job, but it doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't really win you the game when it comes down. Okay, honestly, Golden Aegis, Protege are pretty good. Dragon Shout, I think, is also pretty good. Citra is not bad. Let's move on to Flailier. So we got Reaver, Scavenger, Scargrounds to combine with Braum and Vladimir. That's not bad. Takar, Stefan, Ember Maiden, Reaver, all combined with Scargrounds is pretty good. Same thing with Tarkas. So you get Tarkas and Brianna back. The Wolf is also not bad, to be honest, in some certain Ash decks. So that can actually be really good. And then we get the Ancient Yeti. Now, the Ancient Yeti might not seem powerful to you, but this card is actually super crazy with Elder Dragon. And remember, Elder Dragon is still in standard. So this is nuts. This is nuts with Elder Dragon. That's a huge Elder Dragon buff. It's not even going to be played in any Failure decks. This is just an Elder Dragon card going forward. Absolutely. But pretty much the Failure just gets back the Braum package, right? The Braum package with Vladimir stuff. Is that going to be good enough? Maybe. Maybe. Ionia gets Yasuo, right? We have Pits to go with Lulu, Flower Shower to go with Lulu. Lucaris, whatever. Caretaker. Ritual of Renewal. Kinku, Scatter Pot, There's the Landmark, and there's the Jone, right? So Jone and the Landmark is what we get to go with Jasua. But we lose Concussive Palm, remember. Is that good enough? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. All right, so here we get the Bloodletter with Natsu. So this explains why they rotated Crimson Pigeon out. So that could still kind of give you some value. Blaze Edge, Aristocrat. Grenadier is a really good aggro card. Okay. Bookie, Guillotine. So instead of Disintegrate, you kind of get Guillotine back. Turn of the Roses. Sentry is back as well. Cloud Favor is back. Survivor Skill, Shumpo as a value option since you no longer have the 8-drop. Captive Jetty. I think Natsu is still dead, by the way. The only Natsus deck that's going to be playable is going to be Natsus with Frelia. Just because of Vladimir, I guess, and Braum stuff, and Skardons in general. But, like, I guess you could still play aggro with Natsus. Okay, let me not jump ahead. You can still play aggro with Natsus, like Natsus Bilgewater. But, like, there's no controlling Natsus anymore. Without Disintegrate and Brahmin. And I don't think I don't think any of this stuff helps us. There's no reputation without LeBlanc. We get Thermal back. That's a good addition. Stress Testing is back. That's not bad either. We don't have Twisted Fate, right? So it's not gonna break Twisted Fate, but could be useful in certain other strategies. Salesman is also really good for a potential aggro deck. Warden's Assembly Block, Hesco Foundry for Teemo. Teemo didn't get rotated out, so that could be good for Teemo Caitlyn. Static Shock is not bad. Glorious Evolution gets back into the game, but we don't have Victor, we don't have Seraphine, we don't have Ezreal. What PNC? We don't have Heimerdinger. What PNC champion wants to use Evolution? Right? Like, what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this Glorious Evolution? Okay. Islander is not bad. Onslaught, Hunter Relic, Harbinger. Blighted Caretaker is huge. That's a big addition. That's a big addition to Shadow Owls. Bots, Spirits. Okay, so Shadow Owls didn't get a lot of cards back, but we do have Hecarim and Thresh, which makes me feel really nice about this. Shurima gets Silver. Shapestone is huge, but without action, it's going to be a little bit harder. Rite of Arcane is pretty good. Rite of Faster, she's alright. Deserath. So they want to push like an Asir. They want to push a Seer. Sand Soldier Asir, right? Without... Yeah, I mean, I guess Deserath is not bad if you can find an Asir deck, but it's going to be hard. Shurima didn't get a lot of stuff back. Careful Preparation and Rite of Passage are not bad, but we don't have Cillian, right? So, Aphelios Taric. We also get the Sojourners with Taric and with Golden Ages. So, absolutely. It's just Taric Demacia, right? I know we don't have Poppy. That's cool. Taric Demacia by itself is enough. With Sojourners as well, it's going to be really big in the meta. Because we also get the iBets, right? We get Sojourners, we get Taric. We get the Go Back, Grand Slam, Messenger Sigil, Bell Temple for Aphelios, Super Cushion, Gift Beyond. This is another Elder Dragon card, to be honest. Like Arbiter of the Peak. Yeah, Arbiter of the Peak and Jetty. Oh, wow. Okay. That's it. That's actually it. That is actually it. Oh, my goodness. This doesn't make any sense. That's all I can say, guys. Yeah. I think if we look at this list, right, it shows you everything that's gonna be in standard, including cards that are staying in standard. let's quickly take a look at this just to look at the champions, right? So in Bando City, we still have Tristana, Nora, Nar, Kennen, Lulu, and Teemo. Teemo with Caitlyn is still gonna be good in standard. Lulu, like I said, should be really good with Jins. Kennen, I think, has no place. I feel like if you're gonna play PNC with Bando City, most of the time you're gonna play Lulu instead of Kennen, and just forget about the discard fodder, because Lulu with Chompers is too good to pass up. Narish, whatever. Nora can still do Nora things. Tristana can still do Tristana things because of the mayor. So Bando City is still in a decent spot, right? In my opinion. Bilgewater, I think, gets so bad. I mean, not that Bilgewater was good to begin with, right? You still have your Nila stuff. Jack is still Jack. Ilawi loses one of her best cards. Nautilus, I guess Deep is still technically playable, but Deep has always been Deep problems. Misfortune loses so many good cards in Scouts. Gangplank could be interesting. And maybe you play like Misfortune Gangplank for some aggressive shenanigans with Nazis. But like, I don't know. Demacia. You have Fiora stuff now. Demacia is gonna get saved because of Demacia with Taric, by the way. So you're still gonna have Demacia Taric no matter what, right? Garen Elites are still around. Shyvana with Dragons should technically get better because you have the Shao to explore. Galio is still gonna do Galio things. Bane is still gonna be almost unplayable, right? So if you play Demacia, you're either playing Galio, Shyvana, Fiora. Like Demacia has a lot of champions, and I think Demacia is still gonna be really powerful. Just because Galio Formidable still does a lot of things. Losing Broadwind hurts, but it's not gonna be anything crazy. Relier, Ash. Why would I play Ash? You took away LeBlanc. You took away the A drop that gives me Rally. What is there for Ash to do? I guess now we can play Trash Ash, Spooky Ash. Are you kidding me? You have Braum and Vladimir, Lissandra. Like, I guess Lissandra has the Aristine, right? Aristine with Lissandra. We show that TLC can still be good, but like you don't have Trolls anymore. You rotated the whole Trolls package. Why is Lissandra in the game? Ornn, you're still doing Jats Ornn. Oh, you know what? Guess what? Jats Ornn, yeah, they lose Fish Fight and they lose the 6-mana Focus Speed spell, but Jats Ornn barely loses anything else. Jats Ornn is still gonna be one of the best decks in the format in standard for another year plus. Bolivar can still do Bolivar things, I guess. Jeez. Ionia, Shen, okay, cool. Shen. I guess now we're supposed to play Shen Lulu since we don't have Shen Jarvan anymore, right? I guess that works. I guess you can go Shen Lulu. Shen Lulu and hope that you level up. I think Shen is going to be unplayable. Master Yi is still going to be unplayable. Set without Karma or Seraphine. You don't have Trundle either, so it's not like you can do like the whole set with Freljord. So what are we playing set with? What are we playing set with? Yasuo? Yeah, Yasuo was cool to come back in. You rotated Concussive Palm out. You didn't bring Katarina back. What is Ionia doing here? Aside from Lulu, what is Ionia doing here? Like, what is the reason for me to play Ionia now? When all my spell slingers are out. Where my stun package is still half-ass. Noxus. Vladimir. Cool. Vladimir, I think Vladimir is going to be playable. I think he's really strong. Cool. Swain. Sure. Maybe Swain can sneak about because, you know, everything else got weaker. Sion can still be interesting. Annie, okay, Annie stays. You can still play Annie Jin, right? Annie Jin stays because of that. Samira is alright. I guess Samira's okay. Samira's okay right after she got rebuffed. But she doesn't have action and she doesn't have Fist anymore, so you have to find a new way to play Samira. I'm thinking maybe you go like Samira, Vladimir. I think Samira's probably just, or even Samira like Misfortune and just go on aggressive deck. Mordekaiser, sure. Ah, man, like Vladimir, Swain, Sion, Annie, Samira, Mordekaiser. It's like Natus is only gonna be aggressive. There's not really any crazy mid-range here. I mean, I guess you have Mordekaiser, but again, Mordekaiser usually you play him more with Shadow Owls than Natus. This is a more of a Shadow Owl card than Natus card. Ah. Okay. Bye-bye, Natus. You're dead. Okay, you have Jins again. You have Jins with Lulu. Really good. You can still go Jins Cannon. So Jins is still always gonna be playable, right? Bai could see some play, but I just have a hard time thinking what Bai kind of fits into. Why would I ever play Echo? Why would I ever play Echo with a Bush to the Risen? And with a Cillian? Why? Echo is dead. Kaylin, cool. Kaylin still has Teemo, right? So Teemo and Kaylin still awesome together. Jace, there's no Lots. Now there's no Heimer. What is Jace doing in the game? What is Jace doing in Standard still, guys? You got rid of his Blitzerator as well. What is Jace doing here? Janna can still do Janna things. I think there's probably going to be a couple of Janna decks that can still be really nice. Obviously, you can do like Janna Nila still, right? Ay, Dios mío, Dios mío. In the Runeterra region, we still have Evelyn, Nico, Jinani, Porokin. Porokin loses Solani, but I think Porokin can still do really well. Jats on is going to dominate the meta. And Elder Dragon, right? Like Elder Dragon is going to just dominate, right? Elder Dragon is going to dominate. We literally got a buff to it. We got Jetty back in the game for Elder Dragon. Absolutely ridiculous. Shadow Owls. Hecarim is cool. Trash is cool. Maokai is cool because you can still play Maokai Evelyn, or you can still play Maokai Nautilus. Biego's, I guess, is still cool. You still have Biego Mordekaiser, Biego Elder Dragon. And Gwen is nice, but again, she lost the landmark. She lost the landmark. And that's such a big power loss for Gwen. You rotated her landmark out. I can't with these decisions. Shurima, Asir, cool. Asir Nasus are only Ascended champions. Let's go. This is that. Nasus Trash could be nice, I guess. Nasus Trash is nice. Asir, what? What are we playing Asir with? Hecarim? I guess Asir Hecarim? Copium? Have the have your Sand Soldiers get buffed up when you level up Hecarim? Silver is cool. She's gonna might create some mid-range stuff. Yeah. What's Talia's purpose, right? No trolls anymore? I guess Talia and Malphite are the only thing in the game. That's the only pairing for Talia. Kaisa Evelyn is still a thing, which can be really annoying potentially. And Nidalee's still gonna be Nidalee, right? But she loses Renekton, right? Like Nidalee's best pairing was Renekton, and Renekton's gone. I'm complaining too much, and honestly, guys, it's because I'm so annoyed with this. This rotation makes no sense. Let's look at Target to finish it up, and then I'll rant. And then I'll rant to you guys. Aphelios is back, dope. Aurelion Sol still here, doesn't matter. Elder Dragon is always better than Aurelion Sol. Leona, she's good. Leona's good, and again, Leona plus Vladimir can be really powerful. Taric, we talked about it. It's just gonna be Taric and Demacia all day long. No other region for Taric. It's Taric and Demacia with the shield. And it's going to be meta. It's going to be meta because of how strong it is, but whatever. Malphite doesn't do anything in this game in Standard still. And then Morgana, which Morgana can still do Morgana things, right? And that's it. And that's it. That's a rotation. That's a rotation. Good news is that we're supposed to have an expansion. We're supposed to have an expansion next week, right? We're supposed to have an expansion next week, and I so hope that that expansion can fill in some of the gaps. Because right now, guys, right now, this is crap. This Standard rotation is honestly crap, in my opinion. I usually am more optimistic And you guys know this if you've been watching me for the past 2 years. But like a lot of these decisions didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense. So for us, we're gonna continue mostly playing Eternal because I feel like Eternal is so much more fun, and you get to play all your favorite champions in Eternal. We'll revisit the standard because again, I know some of you do like standard, but without a competitive scene, there's no reason to really focus on standard anymore, right? So, like before, you had to do most of your tournaments in standard. That's not the case anymore. There's no tournaments to be played. So yeah, I mean, I honestly don't like this rotation. So I don't like this rotation. So I don't need to play it anymore because competitive is dead. So I still play Runeterra. We still play the new champions, the new expansion, the rotation, but I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So that's gonna be it for me, man. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. You rotated all the spell slingers. Heimerdinger, Seraphine, Karma, Nami. Rotated them out. You rotated other archetypes entirely, right? Lurk, Darkness, fine, whatever. You know, you want to rotate those. You rotate champions that were not problematic, like Udyr. And then you bring some stuff back in, like Hecarim, but you take stuff away that could make him better. You bring stuff in like Lulu, you take away Senate Urchin. You bring stuff in like Yasuo, you barely give him any tools to do anything. You get rid of scouts for whatever reason. Completely obliterate Nazis for whatever reason. Bring back Aphelios but take away Dustbringer. Like, what is going on? Even one more skull. Again, what is Freljord playing for? What is Freljord playing for now? You don't have One More Skull, you don't have Feel the Rush. What are you ramping to? She Who Wonders? Is that your best 10 drop? Is that the only thing you can do? I just cannot believe that this is what we're getting as a potential last rotation in the game. So I don't know. I'm gonna cut it here because I just don't want to rant. I'm usually very positive, and this is my first video back after being out away for like a week, and I just need patience. So spoilers for the new expansion should hopefully be beginning tomorrow. So we'll have gameplay videos coming back tomorrow, but we'll also do kind of like review reactions, right? So maybe that's gonna make me feel better. Yeah, I mean, this rotation sucks. I'm just gonna say it like it is. This rotation sucks. Voice of the Reason gets rotated, but Echo stays here. Yeah, this rotation sucks. If you like our content and you like what we do, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post card game videos every single day. You can also join our channel and become a member. We have 2 tiers, Gladiators and Champions. Each one with different perks. Check that out in the description below. On the join button, it's a subscription button. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund. We stream every now and then. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you all again tomorrow.